What's going on, everybody? You got the Raging Rob here. Double chin is now down to a single. Working out, pumping iron. It works out. People call me a fat fuck. God, I'm getting less. I'm down to 165. I'm actually losing weight. I'm getting so, I got these fucking holes in my shirt, yeah. Anyway, I'm a big supporter of Rodrigo Duterte. He's a good man. In case you don't know who he is, he's the president of the Philippines. My girlfriend, who's 100% Filipino, immigrated from the Philippines, girlfriend of 2 years. Anyway, she's a huge Rodrigo Duterte supporter as well. I like his politics. I like the way he does things. He gets shit done. The Philippines is a much safer place today than it was years ago. He pretty much erased all the drugs. And not just in Manila and Metro Manila, but across the whole country. He waged a war on drugs and he won. Richard Nixon tried to wage a war on drugs. And it's a fucking war we can't win. We got the war on drugs, we got the war on terrorism, we got the war on gun violence, we got all these wars going on. And we're not winning anything. Hey, as a matter of fact, I tweeted Shannon Watts tonight. You remember who Shannon Watts is, right? Moms Demand Action. Anyway, I came up with an idea of how to cut the gun violence in this country by 99%. It was an idea I came up with. And it's guaranteed to work. Because it worked in Chicago. All this money that the Moms Demand Action is putting together with their fundraisers, they want to cut gun violence. Okay, I can agree with that. They want less gun violence. I want less gun violence because it makes gun owners like myself look bad. So they want to cut the gun violence. It's heartbreaking reading these stories, innocent people getting shot. It's heartbreaking. I send my condolences, and nobody should have to bury their kid. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. It's heartbreaking. I hate hearing these stories. Hate reading them. So I came up with an idea of how to cut the gun violence by 99% in this country. It's guaranteed to work. Because it worked in Chicago. And that's the highest murder rate in the country. All the money that the Moms Demand Action is raising, instead of going out and trying to get votes, trying to get officials elected, evil politicians in office, that's not working. It's not working. Because criminals are going to get a gun anyway. You have to, how do I say this? You have to force them not to go out and commit crimes. And that's where I came up with this idea. Because it worked in Chicago. All the money that they're spending on these campaigns and it's just, if they took all that money and spent them on fucking snow machines, people wouldn't go out and commit crimes. People wouldn't go out and shoot one another. How do I know this is going to work? Because yesterday in Chicago, they had a record snow. Guess what? Nobody went outside. And for the first time in Chicago in more than 30 years, they had a day with no murders. Can you believe that? 99% hell, 100%. This actually fucking works. You need to go out and you buy snow machines. It fucking works. It worked in Die Hard 2. Did you know in Die Hard 2, that scene where Bruce Willis was riding that snowmobile and he was shooting those bad guys? The director of the movie, he was getting pissed off because they couldn't get it to snow. They had to go out and buy snow machines. It worked. These fucking things do work. Anyway, back to Rodrigo Duterte. That's what I originally wanted to talk about. Rodrigo Duterte, I'm a big supporter of this guy. He cut the violence and the drugs. 80% of your violence is resorted back to drugs. Anyway, they're having problems, still having problems with rebel groups down there. ISIS, shit like that. Well, anyway, Rodrigo Duterte, he says that the female rebels, he gave the soldiers permission to shoot the female rebels in the vagina. That's exactly what he said. I mean, this guy isn't afraid of anything. This fucking guy, he just says what he wants. He's kind of like me. I just say what the fuck I want. And that's why people don't like me. Because I tell it like it is. And so is this guy, Rodrigo Duterte. He tells it like it is. And he gets shit done. I love this guy. He gets shit done. The Philippines economy is coming up. It's coming back. Their dollar's getting worth more. Their stocks are up. The violence is cut. Drugs is down. Violence is down. Tourism's up. Their country's on the plus. Make the Philippines great again. He knows what the fuck he's doing. I mean, when he fought the ISIS in Marawi and Mindanao Island, he fought those son of a bitches until they're all fucking dead. That's the way you get shit done. You stay in that son of a bitch. Problem with Iraq and Vietnam is we pulled out. We should have fucking stayed in there. We pulled out of Iraq. Now look at it. Iraq, Syria, Libya, it's all fucked up now. The governments are overthrown. Rodrigo Duterte, smart motherfucker. Shoot the women in the vagina. That way they cannot breed and make more extremists. This is sort of like Keemstar. Back in about 5-6 years ago, Keemstar came up with the campaign. He was trying to win. He was trying to win a contest called King of the Web, and $7,500. What would he do with $7,500? Keemstar. Look him up. Drama. Keemstar. Drama alert. Keemstar. Anyway, back in 2012, there was a contest, King of the Web, and Keemstar said that if he won King of the Web, he talked about you know who Coney is, right? Coney and his army. Well, he's the African warlord. In order to get him to stop with these atrocities, Keemstar came up with an idea of what he would do with $7,500 if he won King of the Web. And there was another guy out there. His name is Only Use Me Blade. I'm sure you heard of him. A good friend of Keemstar's, Brian. So anyway, they decided that if he wins King of the Web, that they were going to go from sex shop to sex shop in Seattle, where Only Use Me Blade is from, and they were going to buy $7,500 worth of dildos. It was a campaign he started called Dildos for Africa, and basically what it is, Dildos for Africa, where they would send $7,500 worth of dildos to Africa. It's a win-win. You get the women to stop breeding little kids to carry AK-47s and Uzis and M16s for Coney's army. So therefore Coney, because most of his army is kids, so Coney wouldn't have any soldiers for his warlord army. And the violence would stop by getting the women to get off without getting pregnant. Dildos for Africa. Great idea. The women could get off, they can get their orgasms in, and they wouldn't be breeding any more Coney's kids for the war. That's how you get shit done. So I think Rodrigo's idea of these female rebels, fuck killing them, because that's just going to create more terrorism. But if you shoot them in the vagina, they can't create any more, and eventually they're going to die out. It's sort of like, it's sort of like an animal that goes extinct, or it's on the endangered list. How do you stop it? How do you stop the animals from breeding? I mean, you can keep killing them, but you got to go after the females. They're the breeding machine. You stop that, you can make them extinct. Great idea. So I believe this Rodrigo Duterte, he's a fucking genius. This could work. He wants to put an end to ISIS in his country. Well, if you're not breeding little kids, if the terrorists aren't breeding kids, those little kid terrorists are going to grow up to become extremists and terrorists. But if you go after the women, guess what? Men can't get pregnant. You go after the women, no pregnancy, no terrorist. Sort of like Keemstar's dildos for Africa. Great idea. Coney can't get his army for the African warlord in his renegade army. But I think the snow machine thing is a good idea. I'm trying to help Shannon out. I'm trying to give her ideas of how to cut gun violence in this country. She's wasting her time. She's wasting her money. All she's got to, she used to work for Monsanto and General Electric. All that $50 million she got from Bloomberg, if she would have took that $50 million and bought out a bunch of snow machines and sent them to every major ghetto, Baltimore, LA, we don't really have a gun violence problem in Phoenix. My home city, Phoenix. Detroit, Baltimore, the worst cities, like New Orleans, Detroit, LA, Baltimore, Chicago, Minneapolis has got a Muslim terrorist problem. There's other major cities out there. Charlotte, North Carolina. Ferguson, Missouri. St. Louis. East St. Louis, Illinois. I dated a black girl once, and she was from East St. Louis, Illinois. I'm not going to say her name. I'll conceal her identity. I don't want to get sued, but, Camden, New Jersey. There's another ghetto. That place is bad. Anyway, snow machines for these cities. Cut the gun violence 100%. I cannot believe it. Chicago had a day yesterday with no fucking murders. First time in like 30, 40 fucking years. You believe that? It's the fucking snow machine. It works. Anyway, that's the video. I'm not sure if I can upload 15-minute videos on this channel or not. I don't know. Anyway, Raging Rob out.